Thank you for joining me tonight on Talking with Famous People. Tonight I speak with famous person Makenna Sievertson in part 2 of our conversation. Enjoy. Talking with famous people. When I knew you were Bay, I remember you did drama as well. Is that true?
Yeah.
Did you continue to do acting stuff in high school?
Yeah, I was a huge theater kid. I didn't do it my freshman year. It was a 0 period class, which meant you had to come at 7 a.m. And freshmen weren't allowed to join the 7 a.m. class. So I didn't end up doing it my freshman year. But then my sophomore, junior, and senior year, I joined, and I was ridiculously involved in it. I was there from 7 a.m. to 10 o'clock some nights.
And yet you tell me that you're studying journalism. So you've not elected to go into acting as a profession.
It was something that I definitely considered. Like sophomore and junior year, I was kind of like, oh yeah, I'll do acting. But my senior year, I took a journalism class. There ended up only being 4 girls, including myself in the class. And we had to publish a newspaper a couple times a year. And it out-involved drama. I've never been so dedicated to something, and I've never been so interested in something. I would skip other classes to go and work on it. And as much as I love acting and as much as it's a passion of mine, I wanted to do maybe something bigger, I guess. Like, I still love acting, and I still appreciate it, and I still think it's a fantastic profession. I wanted to do something more.
Let me tell you a sentence, and you tell me true or false. You prefer writing because you are making something of your own from scratch, whereas in acting, you are interpreting other people's stuff.
True. Yeah.
Talking. What sort of things are you interested in? You said you're studying journalism. You could be like a frog journalist. Write nothing but stories about frogs all the time. Can you give me more detail about what you're interested in writing about?
Just social injustice throughout the world. Every single corner of the globe you go to, you're going to find, and there's always someone who's looked down on or looked less than, and it bothers me.
Are there specific disaffected groups that you feel most of a connection with?
Because I live in America, Ferguson and Baltimore, and the other day, the shooting in the church, I got in a fight with my friend on Facebook because he literally told there's no racism in America. And I was like, yes, you think that because you're a little white boy living in Glendale. Of course you don't think there's racism. If you went anywhere else in the world, you would understand. We are privileged. We have these rights that we don't even understand. Maybe we don't even want, but it's something that, because of the way we look, we get. It pisses me off.
I have been ranting about cops for like 10 years, or even longer.
I know.
And nobody cares. The cops are doing all this. Nobody cares. Finally, everybody cares. Thank you, Internet. Thank you.
Yep. Are you on Reddit? Do you know what Reddit is?
I know what it is. I don't ever go on it.
I think you would love it. I love going on there and listening to other people's thoughts. I think you would like it.
Sometimes there's threads that I enjoy looking at. It's just not a regular stop for me. I think it's because the visual layout of it is so sparse.
Yeah, I use the mobile app.
You're interested in social injustice, and you're talking specifically about race relations. I actually expected your answer to fall in the range of feminism.
Again, I think it's...
Yeah, hold on one second. Hi, Candace. You know who I'm Skyping with right now, Candace? Makenna.
Oh, I'll be there in a moment.
Okay. This will be cool. This will be the first time third-person voice on Talking with Famous People.
Nice.
That's pretty exciting.
Can you see her, or you're just talking?
Yeah, she's right there.
Where can I see her? Where can she see me?
Oh, you.
I have to tell you what happened today. So
Okay.
I babysit this kid, and I was doing his birthday party. And I was sitting there with, doing face painting, and they're like, oh, yeah, Mrs. Strauss. And I was like, did your kids go to Rebay? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, I totally know Candace. Mr. Strauss was my teacher. And they're like, oh, we love her. It was a kid I babysit's birthday party.
Uh-huh.
So there was, a bunch of kids and parents. I didn't know their names, right?
That's awesome.
But yeah.
What were you going to say?
You see this? This means you're clipped. Just
Are you telling me to tone it down?
No, I'm just not because you're no, only for the recording purposes. Because your wave files are coming in a little hot. That's all.
You're a little hot.
Ooh, Candace getting saucy. Or stand a little further back from the mic. It's fine too.
I'm not going to be joined. Sorry, Makenna. I'm a little too hot for this conversation, apparently. Bye, honey.
Bye.
Talking. There's a tendency to describe the problems and assume certain mechanisms are the cause.
I think understanding how things work is more important than the outcome. Yeah, I think there definitely should be more focus on how. I've noticed that even just in my first year when I had to learn a bunch of stuff. I don't know how this works. I don't really know what it means, but I'm memorizing it and I have to learn about it. And it made it more difficult to really understand because I didn't really know what I was studying.
What classes did you take?
Basically just had to take GEs, which is what pisses me off about college. Is I'm going there to study journalism and I'm having to take biology, which, ugh. I took a gender women's studies course, which is basically a feminism course. I took astronomy, I took English, math. I took one journalism class, that was a total joke. And I took a public speaking course.
You already know how to speak publicly.
Yeah, okay, so I went and I joined the class, and there was a speech competition. For each round you went up, you got extra credit points. And I was the only not honor student, and I got first place.
Well, you had both forensic speech experience and acting experience.
Yeah.
So you're used to being in front of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't used to it,
I still totally get nervous, about to go on stage kind of thing, but I've noticed the more prepared I am, I knew exactly what I was going to say. I was able to practice it, spend as much time as I wanted before going in.
Right. Talking. Going back a second, now you got in a big fight with your friend who said there's no racism in America. There definitely is racism. But my point has long been that the real problem is not the racism. It's the mechanisms of government that are used to cause harm, making everything in the world illegal, like selling a cigarette on a street corner is illegal, so Eric Garner dies. Trying to deal with racism is silly because you're saying we got to fix people's brains.
You might not be able to go down to the South and be like, look, what you guys are thinking is dumb, and they still fly Confederate flags down there. That's something that's crazy to me. You're highlighting one of the worst parts of our history, and you're waving it and wearing it on tank top. We obviously can't go down there and be like, look, you guys are dumb, what you think is wrong. But we are able to post certain laws that makes it, people can still think that way, but they shouldn't be allowed to act on those beliefs.
See, in my opinion, the problem is the government shouldn't be allowed to act on those beliefs. In my opinion, and people think this is crazy and say, don't ever say this out loud, Eric. But I absolutely believe that private businesses should be allowed to deny service to people because they're racist or because they're homophobic or because of whatever reason. Because it is, after all, their private business. Why shouldn't they be able to determine who they want to deal business with or not? If cops were actually responding to victims calling them and saying, somebody robbed me. Oh, well, that sounds like a job for the cops. Not, let's go around and find people doing things they want to be doing and stop them. Talking.
Colleges themselves, the actual corporations of colleges, I know with my school particularly, white kids were the minority. At least that's what I don't know if that's the actual demographic, but that's definitely what I felt. And I think they put a lot into helping those kids who wouldn't be able to normally go to college.
The students, they liberal? Are they libertarian, or are they politically disengaged?
I think they're apathetic. I don't think they really think about... at least they don't talk about it, really, unless...
What do college kids talk about when they're not in class?
Parties, what they can do next to have fun, drama between their friends, just stupid stuff. I'm lucky to have a few friends that they're very knowledgeable about current events. One of my best friends, every time I talk to her, she talks about racial inequality. And, as much as I love to talk about that, it kind of pisses me off sometimes. But, It's nice having that. It's nice being able to have a serious discussion with someone.
Talking. And that concludes another exciting episode of Talking with Famous People. I want to thank famous person Makenna Sievertson for engaging with me in a very interesting conversation about racial injustice and American politics and a number of other subjects. Thanks so much for listening, and see you next time on Talking with Famous People. Talking with famous people.